Hey, what's going on? Aaron Chen here. Hope you're doing well. If you're watching this video right now, you might be doing some research on Bill McRae's Bulletproof email solution. Okay, so this is the sales page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to review this product for you today, and then you can decide whether or not you want to invest in learning the Bulletproof email solution from Bill. All right. So this is his sales page. A very, very simple, basic sales page, right? And basically, what he says is this traffic source made me $1 million. It could do the same thing for you. And he has a very, very simple sales video where it's actually him, which is a great thing. Okay, so he hasn't hired somebody else. It's not some strange radio presenter voice or anything like that. It's actually him, which is quite nice and refreshing to see, because a lot of the time when marketers hire somebody else, usually the quality of the products aren't that good. Okay, but this is actually Bill himself, which is great. And then all he does is he takes exactly what he says here, and he's just got the sales copy down. And it's very, very simple. And then you've got the price down here, which is it's $27. It's a ClickBank product, so it's got a 60-day refund policy. There you go, and that's it. It's a very, very simple sales page, and that's it. The only thing that I would say is that it's a little bit confusing, because what Bill talks about on the sales page and the video is he talks all about traffic, right? When in fact, this strategy is really an email strategy. It's not really a traffic strategy. He does talk about traffic, and I'll talk about that in a second, but he focuses very heavily on traffic in his sales message and in his sales video. But the course is really about list segmentation and how to get more profits out of the list that you're generating through traffic, which is what he talks about. Okay, so let me go and dive into the details, and then you can kind of figure out whether this is for you or not. Okay, so Bulletproof email solution. I've got my little mind map here, and let's kind of run go through it. So the first module is really where he talks about the core training, right? So it's a core training. He starts by talking a little bit about the basics of email marketing, and the email autoresponder, the email manager system that he uses is GetResponse, right? GetResponse is very good for beginners. I still use GetResponse today, honestly. Very inexpensive and a pretty good email autoresponder. So module 1, very basic, and I just want to mention that all of his videos they're pretty short. They're not that long. They're 5 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes long. Just depends on what training it is. Okay, so that's module 1, all the basic stuff, right? Module 2, he starts to talk a little bit more about list segmentation. He explains why you need to segment your list, like separate your lists, how to create automated sequences, and then he links out to a training to show you how to do that through GetResponse. So he doesn't train you in that particular area. He links you out to a training in GetResponse. But essentially what he's teaching you how to do is to separate the people that are interested in different things, and then all you are doing is you're selling them, you're marketing, recommending products to those people that have raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in blogging, I'm interested in gardening, I'm interested in lead generation, I'm interested in falling in love, that kind of thing. And you segment your audience out into different lists, and you recommend them those products that they're interested in. That's all list segmentation is. By the way, it's a good thing to segment your lists. So it's actually a good strategy, all right? This is actually quite an advanced strategy in terms of email marketing, but it's pretty good, okay? So that's what he talks about in module number 2. Module number 3, he introduces you to his titanium templates, which is basically his templates where you can buy it as an upsell, and I'll talk about that later, how much it costs. And basically you can use those email swipes and just use it for yourself so that you can get better results, okay? And this is more advanced list segmentation. How do you actually build them out? How do you, structure it and stuff like that? So that's module number 3, okay? Module number 4 is really just an overview of autoresponders, how they work, why he chose GetResponse, how does GetResponse work, and stuff like that. So it's a very, very basic module. I'm not sure why he has module 4 there, to be honest, okay? So there you go. That's the main program, okay? So the main program is about understanding emails, how to get people's emails, right? How to segment the list, how to find out what people are really interested in, and once you segment them into different layers, into different lists, then you recommend those specific people the products that they have raised their hands to say, hey, I'm interested in this particular topic. That's pretty much all it is, and then you kind of automate that sequence, right? Now the bonuses is where he starts to talk about traffic, right? Now if you don't know what traffic is, it's just getting eyeballs into your email sequence, okay? So driving potential customers to kind of see your stuff, right? So The main traffic sources he talks about is solo ads, honestly. Now, if you don't know what solo ads are, so all solo ads are is when you go to a marketer or a traffic broker, somebody who resells traffic, and they've created an email list of, maybe 10,000 people, 50,000 people, and all you're doing is you're going to these traffic brokers or marketers and you're saying, hey, I want to buy some leads from you. If I, give you $100, how many clicks can you give me, right? So that's basically what he's teaching you in the first part of the bonus section, right? Now, for me personally, I hate solo ads, right? And the reason why I hate solo ads, I know hate's a strong word, but for my first 8 years that I was marketing online, 2009 2016, all I did was solo ads because that's all the gurus talk about, right? And the problem with solo ads is everybody is buying from the same vendors, and yes, there are, hundreds and thousands of vendors online, but think about it, they're all selling their clicks and their leads to people like you and me who want to buy traffic, right? Now, what happens is they bombard their email lists every day. So imagine if you were someone on that particular email list. You're getting 10 promotions a day, 15 promotions a day, 20 promotions a day. What do you think happens to those people? Well, they click on the emails, but they don't buy anything, right? So the quality of solo ads in general, okay, I'm generalizing now, is very, very low. So the name of the game is to keep testing many different solo ad vendors until you find that one, needle in a haystack that actually has good quality traffic and they treat their list very, very well, which is a very, very rare thing, right? Now, I've spent more than $30,000 on solo ads, and I can tell you that I was never profitable in the 8 years from 2009 to 2016, okay? I was really, really struggling. So I really don't like solo ads. I don't teach my students solo ads at all. I think they're the worst quality traffic, and that's what Bill talks about in his bonus here, okay? So for me, that's a huge conflict, right? Because don't get me wrong, if you have the right setup and you have enough money to spend testing out all the different solo ad vendors, you might be able to be profitable with solo ads, but in general, it's very difficult to be profitable. Can you make some sales? Yes. Is it easy to be profitable? No, all right? So that's what he teaches you in the first bonus, okay? Now, the second bonus is a link to his specific traffic source. So this is a little bit interesting. And basically, he gives you a particular source where you're not paying for clicks, you're actually paying for leads, right? And the leads are pretty cheap. So his traffic source will give you leads for about 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, so under $1, which is really good. So that means it's not just people clicking, it's actually people logging in and giving you their email address, which is a decent thing, okay? Now I'll talk about the pros and cons about that in a second, but that's his main thing, is to give you some solo ad vendors, some marketplaces, like Udemy, for example, which is a huge marketplace. I've spent tons of money on Udemy. Rarely made any profit there, honestly. There's just a whole bunch of, a lot of them bad quality solo ads. There are some good solo ad vendors, but again, it's all about testing and spending a lot of money on solo ads to find the good stuff and the bad stuff, right? It's like sieving through a pile of dirt to find the gold. Does that make sense? Very, very difficult, okay? And then he's got obviously the link to his traffic source where you pay for leads instead of clicks. So that's not too bad, but I'll talk about that in a second, right? Then he's got some upsells, right? So he's got the titanium templates, which is very inexpensive, $17. He gives you a whole list of titanium templates that you can use inside of your list segmentation strategy. He's got an email swipe vault, which he updates, and that's $25 per month. And then he teaches you how to become a solo ad vendor, okay? So once you've generated all these email leads, he's like, okay, so to make a little bit of profit, because this is not the most profitable strategy, because again, the traffic source isn't great, okay? That's why he teaches you to become a solo ad vendor, right? So he's saying, okay, you're collecting all these emails. Now, if you're not making that much money, I'm gonna teach you how to resell your email clicks to other people that want to buy traffic so that you can arbitrage, so that you can, make sure that you can get in a little bit of profit. Now, I think that's a very bad strategy, honestly, because essentially what is happening is you're becoming a solo ad vendor, which is not a great thing, because you're here to learn how to sell products and then you're selling traffic at the same time. It's a conflicting strategy, okay? Because if you can't learn to get in profit selling products, then you're not doing a very good job, right? And if you're selling clicks to other people, which are not great quality, they're just, you're buying, essentially you're recycling crap, right? And that's what happens with a lot of solo ad vendors. They buy solo traffic from somebody else, they build their email list, they can't profit from their email list, so they try and sell clicks from this email list to other people to try and recoup that money. Does that make sense? So you're recycling crap and you're trying to recycle that crap to somebody else. And that's why, and I've tried this before, right? So that's why I'm very, very familiar with this strategy as well, because I tried to be a solo ad vendor as well, all right? So it's not a great strategy, okay? And you have to pay $37 for that, all right? So let me talk about the pros and cons of this particular product, right? It's not all bad, okay? So let me, and this is just my personal point of view, okay? But you can learn a lot from this video, right? So first of all, it's a very cheap product, right? So it's only 27 bucks. You know, Bill is giving away his program for 27 bucks. Now, it's not the most detailed program, but if you want to learn a little bit about email marketing and list segmentation, then for $27, it's a steal, okay? You will learn some pretty good stuff about segmenting your lists and recommending products to people that to people that actually want your stuff. Okay, so that's a pretty good part. Very few people talk about list segmentation, so it does teach some good list segmentation strategies. Okay, and it's very, very affordable, right? Now here are some of the cons that I see with something like this. Okay, so the first con is that it's very focused on just selling. All right, because what you're doing is you're getting an audience into your email list, and you are literally just segmenting them and then promoting products that you think that they're interested in. There is absolutely no personal branding and no magnetism with your email list. All you're doing is you're just selling them what you think that they want to buy, right? There's no value add. You're not providing any value. You're not being super cool. You're not adding any magnetism towards you, which means that this is kind of like a churn and burn strategy. Yes, you can make some money from segmenting your list, but if you're not adding any value, you're churning and burning your people. Does that make sense? So you might sell them something, but they might never buy from you again because you're just selling all the time. And even though you might be selling them something that they want, in terms of a medium to long-term strategy, it's not very, very good, especially not for your brand. Okay, that's what I personally think anyway, right? The other thing is that inside of his bonus where he teaches you his link to his traffic source, right? Now, here's the thing about his traffic source, okay? It might get you cheap leads, but the problem is you don't know what the quality of these leads are because everything is controlled by that traffic vendor. That's the first problem. The second problem is that what happens if something happens to this traffic vendor? Does that make sense? So you might be buying cheap leads today, like 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, and that is cheap leads. Don't get me wrong, that's good, right? But number one, you don't know the quality. You don't know how it's going to convert. Number two, if something happened to that traffic vendor, your entire traffic source is gone overnight, right? And this happens all the time, right? I've been marketing online for 11 years, okay? And you'll see traffic vendors, they're here today, they're gone tomorrow because, maybe something happened to their business, something happened in their personal life, or they decided they don't want to be in the traffic business anymore. It happens all the time. So it might be here today, but what happens if it disappears tomorrow? Your traffic source is just gone. Your business has been pulled out from under your feet, which is dangerous, okay? The other thing is he teaches you solo ads, which I mentioned earlier, is not good. Honestly, if you focus on just bringing in solo ad traffic into your business, it's not a good way to build your business. There's so many other great traffic sources out there like Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and banner advertising and pay-per-click networks and native ad networks. Solo ads is like the lowest, it's the bottom of the barrel kind of stuff. You don't want to build your business on solo ads, okay? That's just my personal recommendation. And then lastly, it's very strange that he sells you, and this is an upsell, right? So here, selling clicks is learning how to become a solo ad vendor, is to resell your database of emails. I think that it's very conflicting because when you have a strategy where you're trying to sell products and then you're also trying to resell your clicks, it's two completely different things. One is you're trying to make money from selling good products and driving traffic. The other one is you're trying to sell your traffic to other marketers, right? The business strategy is completely different. And what's going to happen is if you're a beginner, you're going to get very, very confused because the only way to really make good money is you have to pick one strategy. You're either a solo ad vendor or you're selling products to your email list. Does that make sense? If you do both, and it's possible to do both, don't get me wrong, but if you're a beginner and you've never made money online before, it can get very confusing because they're two completely different skill sets. I hope that makes sense, okay? So that's all I would say. Now, look, if you want to get an email training program just to teach you a little bit about list segmentation, then for 27 bucks, it's a steal, all right? But in terms of a holistic business where you can just invest $27 and then learn good email list segmentation, rely on his traffic sources, and then build a really, really successful business, I don't think that this is that product, okay? And this is just my personal opinion from being online for 11 years and seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? So that is my review of Bill's bulletproof email solution, okay? Again, if you just want, a cheap email list segmentation product, then this is not bad, okay? But as an overall business where it's going to teach you everything that you need to know to build a $5, $10, $20,000 per month, affiliate marketing business, I don't think this is it. I think you need more training and you need something else that will really teach you the ins and outs of how to be really, really successful, okay? So that's my review of Bulletproof Email Solution. Listen, if you're here because you're like Aaron, I want to learn how to be successful online, but I don't know how to do it, okay? And you're just researching a whole bunch of different products. Listen, I've been online marketing for the last 11 years. You heard my story earlier. First 8 years failed miserably, and then started to figure out affiliate marketing really well in 2016. Started to generate hundreds of sales, tens of thousands of dollars later, tripling my corporate income in April 2019. And then I quit my corporate job then. And it's because I've been through the ringer. It's because I've been through all these kinds of programs, been through tons of solo ads, spent so much money on my business, and had to figure out what really works and what doesn't, okay? And the only thing that really works is if you truly understand real marketing properly and you learn it from start to finish, okay? Now this, what Bill's talking about, and this is just my personal opinion again, right? What Bill's talking about here is one part of the overall solution, okay? Segmenting your list is only one small part of the overall marketing puzzle. Okay, it's not everything. It's just one part. You have to learn how to do you have to learn how to get traffic properly. You have to learn how to capture your list properly. You have to learn how to brand yourself. You have to learn how to add value. You have to learn how to convert. There's all these little things in between, and this is just 10% of the whole picture, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you'd like to learn everything, if you're like, Aaron, I want to learn 100%, not just 10 or 20%. How do I learn everything? I've got a free training program that you can check out. Okay, that will teach you how to promote products, great digital products online. And all you need to do to get access to that training is click the link right below this video. You'll see it in the description box. It's going to lead you to my website. On that website, make sure you enter your best and real email address, because I'll send you a free video training directly to your inbox. Make sure you check your spam folder, because sometimes it ends up in spam. And it'll show you step by step what to focus on, what is the right business models, what doesn't work, what works, and how to actually get started making money, recommending great products to great people all over the world. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this review of Bulletproof Email Solution. And I wish you all the best in your business. Hope to see you on the next page. Take care.